So now I just want to go over the shape of catamaran hulls and how they've sort of evolved. Um, let's starting with the Hobie 16 that came out in the 60s and 70s. I don't really know the exact date, but let me just show you the shape of the hull. So the hulls were this banana shape, and so what would happen is when the wind kicked up, the bow would dive, and because it was this banana shape, it would basically just go like that. And so the idea was that you'd have reserve buoyancy because it was pointed up, and then it would, so basically you'd have a small shift in the center of lateral resistance forward. Now, at the same time the Hobie Cat 16 came out, the Tornado came out. So let's look at the Tornado hull. Tornado hull was more like this. So it started out with this deep V front, transitioning into basically a semicircular section, and then narrowing in the back. And so this design actually ended up being a little bit faster and better. This one had boards. This one did not. This was deep V everywhere, but this one was deep V in the front, and then it transitioned to a wide semicircular. So the back was like this, and the front was like this, a little bit more like that. So in this case, when the wind kicked up, because there's a lot of height in the front, that height is what kept the bow from digging in. So let's look at the Nacra, the new Nacras. It's kind of hard to draw, but let me see if I can draw it. The Nacras have a reverse bow, and then they have this almost like a belly. So this is like the new shape for catamarans, and also the center of a lot of fast trimarans. So what is the idea of this shape? It's almost concave here and concave here. So it's almost like a wave. So also the belly is behind the middle of the boat. So what they did was they moved the center of buoyancy back, and so everything is back. The weight is back, the sail is back, the mast is back, the sails are back. So what this belly allows it to do is, because the volume increases right here, that means at rest this bow is sticking out of the water. Whereas with a Tornado, the bow is like this. This bow is completely out of the water. So you have this reserve, almost like a plane here. So that's the idea, is the buoyancy is held in the belly, and this pushes the tail and the front of the boat up further out of the water. And so now you have reserve buoyancy, mostly in length, than like with the Tornado is mostly in height. But so now everything is back. The mast is farther back. So if you look at the mast position on this, it would be more like in the middle, and now it's further back. And also the centerboard is further back. So instead of here, the centerboard is here. So everything is back, and this creates length in the front. And that's how you get the extra buoyancy. It also gives this long planing surface. So that's the evolution of the catamaran. I forgot to mention, this little belly also makes it easier to turn. So catamarans are notorious for being hard to tack. It's really hard to turn a catamaran because you have two hulls that are long and skinny. So this belly makes it easy. The belly lifts, effectively kind of shrinks the waterline a little bit and makes it easier to turn. So that's the other advantage of this kind of wave-shaped bottom. Actually, there are some monohulls now. I think it's the Sunfast 3300 has the same shape on the bow. It has this sort of wave shape, and it's very fast. And they say in their video that the reason that they have this shape is to help it get on plane earlier, and I believe them.